Welcome to ScratchStart. In this session, we are going to see how we can navigate through the page using the arrow up and down key. So we always use the cursor with the scroller, right? Here we are going to use without using the mouse, only with the keyboard. So that is why I am using the arrow keys to navigate. As you can see, I have already wrote the HTML and CSS structures, and I will go straight to the DOM. Now let's create an element called items and select it by document dot. I'm using query selector method, query selector all, and the class is items. I'm using this because it is item. This because see, in the list I have four list elements, and everything has the same class, so I am using the same query selector. So here, as on the previous session, I am fixing the current index to 0. You can see, here you can ask a doubt may arise. What means I haven't yet created any array explicitly. Then how can I declare the current index as 0? You can see here there is a list, another list, and it has 4 list elements. When I created an element for a variable for using the query selector, it will be considered as a list, as an array, like node array. Node list of elements is considered as an array, but it will not be considered as a regular array like we separate, like we create using the box brackets. It can't in this kinds of array, node arrays, you can't actually perform all the operations you perform in the regular arrays, like mapping, sort, splice, and those kinds of operations. But it is also a kind of array. It is also considered as an array in a browser. So first I have to update the active item, right? There are 4 items in the list. So for that I am creating a function called update active. Inside that I am creating selecting the items variable. For using for each method, I am writing a function called item. Inside that item, we have to select the item and give it a class list and remove it. Remove the class active. What means, as you can see here, there is a here in the browser the item 1 is the defaultly selected, so it is an active list, active list element. So there is also a class active in the active list element. So first we are removing this, and then we are assigning for the current list element. So next I'm select in the items with the current index, give it a class list of active. Give the class list active, and that's all. Now we have to write the logic for key navigation. This function is only to decide the pass the active class to the each items. That's all. Now we have to listen for the key events to move the move between the items. So we have to listen for key events. For that, I'm adding document adding add event listener, and the event here is we are using two keys here. For up and up, for going up it is arrow up key, and for going down we are using the arrow down key. So for first I am writing for the key down function, sorry, key down event. For the key down event I am creating a function e and give this event listener the operation. I am using the if condition. If the event listener key is as arrow down, then we should change the current index to current index plus 1. So if it is in 0, when we click it will add 0 plus 1, the index number is 1, and that will straight navigate to item number 2. And next is when we reach the last element like item 4, it must return back to item 1, right? For that I am writing another if condition called if current index is greater than or equal to length of the items array, then current index equal to 0, and then we have to update the function, update active function included, and that's all for the this is one section. And next we have to write another section. What means another event, that is arrow up down, arrow up operation. So for that I am using the else if statement. If event listener's key is arrow up, then we have the condition, change the condition to current index to current index minus 1, and then we have to use the if logic. And if the current index is less than 0, that means if it is in top, and if we click the arrow down key, sorry, arrow up key, it should come to the item 4. So for that we should declare set the current index to length of the items minus 1, and then update the display by current update active. That's all. Now that is all. Now when I click reload and when I navigate, see it is navigating. I am clicking the down key only now. It goes plus 1, 0 plus 1, and 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1 2, and 2 plus 1 3. Third index, final index is reached, and now this execute. If the current index is greater than items length 4, now the current index is 3. 3 plus 1 equal to 4. The length of the array is 4, so it is equal to items length. So when I click down key again, it goes to the item 1. That's all. And see the next block of the same next part of the same block, else if I click the arrow up button, it goes item 4, like current index here is 3. 3 minus 1 2, 2 minus 1 1, and 1 minus 1 0. And if the current index next current index will be negative, that means less than 0. When I click that, it should change to this logic. Current index is less than 1. Next current index is when we go up. So the current index should change to items length minus 1. The length of the item is 4. 4 minus 1 equal to 3. So when I click press the arrow up button, then it will go to the item 4. So that's all. So that is all. That is how we navigate through the browser using the arrow keys or on any other keys in the keyboard. So yeah, that is it for today's session, and I hope you like my work. Consider liking and subscribing and sharing, and I will meet you guys in the next session. Thank you. Have a nice day.